Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. Today from McFarlane Toys, in their Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim line, we are featuring Helm Hammerhand. Alright, so this was a toy line that I was eyeing ever since it came out. The one thing that kind of stopped me from pulling the trigger is that these figures were ridiculously priced at $20 a pop. The figures are very small. They're like half the size of McFarlane's normal anime line, and I just couldn't do it. But when my local Walmart put these figures on clearance for $5 a piece, I couldn't resist. I just had to get them. The movie was awesome. It's one of those kind of things where I enjoy it more after every viewing. The artwork is beautiful. The story is not the greatest, but it's decent enough, and it really does carry through the movie pleasantly. It does a good job of building up to the climax and all the action. But yeah, for me, it's just being a fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise and anime, and even the much older Lord of the Rings animated features from the early 80s. For me, this was just kind of a cool throwback to that. But circling back to Helm Hammerhand, a nice looking figure. He is Hera's father, and he sits atop the throne. The big selling point of the line also is the Build-A-Figure, which is the Snow Troll. And Helm comes with this giant head. And then once completed, you could build this cool, burly-looking guy. And I can't wait till I collect all the pieces and assemble them. Alright, so let's take this out. Here is the head for the Snow Troll. If you've seen the other pieces, they're gigantic. So it really pains me that the toy line was as small as it was. But yeah, I can't wait to get this guy pieced together. It's gonna be awesome. Just look at the detail on this. Alright, so this action figure line, it's like I said, they're pretty small. They only come in at about... this guy's a little bit taller than some of the other ones. He's a little under 4.5 inches. The detailing on him is nice. He has nice paint application on his armor with the gold trim. You can see that he has a fabric cape, which is very, very red. The head details... they're kind of a little bit blown out because of my lighting, but you can see the beard, his eyes. And overall, it's a nice piece. They're not the greatest action figures, because I think that, if they scaled these figures up to 6 or 7 inches, so that they're more in line with McFarlane's other anime toys, I think these would have been phenomenal. But they're kind of small. They're bigger than the DC Page Punchers. So it's kind of like an oddball size. And you can't call him Helm Hammerhand without his hammer, which we see right here. Let's place that in his hand. Without spoiling the film, Helm Hammerhand is a badass. He has a very show-stopping scene toward maybe 3/4 of the way through the film. He's just a really, really cool figure in the movie. He commands a lot of presence, a lot of authority, and it's just a nice figure overall. You can see it doesn't have too many points of articulation. It's just very, very basic. And here are some other figures in the toy line for comparison. We have the antagonist of the film, Wolf. And you can see how much larger Helm is compared to Wolf. And then we also have the orc scavenger known as Shank, who's on the hunt for the One Ring. Yeah, so overall, a really, really nice toy line. You know, I kind of wish that the price point was a little bit more affordable, but I got these for clearance. And, you know, there were some other characters in the film that would have made for great action figures. So I kind of feel like, I don't want to say that they dropped the ball, but, you know, it seemed like there was a whole lot of potential, you know, doing action figures for this film, and they just came up a little bit short. You know, for one, I would have loved a larger size for the action figures. And it would have been nice if they kind of expanded the catalog, because I could think of at least, you know, 4 or 5 other characters from the film that would have made great figures. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I will see you at the next one. Alright, later.